peeps, how are you all? Guess what? It's the 13th. And the only thing worse than a Friday the 13th is a Monday the 13th. I'm kidding, of course. I love Mondays as much as any other day. Why? Because I am the princess of positivity, of course. Okay, so this number 13, why does it have such a bad rap? Maybe by the end of the video, you'll actually change your mind about the number 13. Maybe you'll give it a chance. Now, before you change your mind about me, click that subscribe button and click that like button and also the bell button and every other button that makes you feel good. Click, 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 click. Okay, so here goes. The number 13. It's just a number, nothing more. So why does it strike fear in the hearts of so many people? Well, some people, believe it or not, actually see 13 as a lucky number. So I'm Italian. I don't know if you knew that. I see nothing scary or unlucky about number 13. And I am fairly superstitious. I don't walk under ladders. I don't walk on cracks because I love you, Mom. The number 13 is lucky in Italy, especially when gambling. I don't know if you knew that. The number 13 is also associated with the Goddess of Fertility. So if you're trying to make some babies. And also it's associated with the lunar cycle. It's thought in Italy that the number 13 brings prosperity and an abundant life. So that's good. I like that. I'm going with the flow. 13 is also considered lucky. Although 13 is considered lucky, sitting down at a table with 12 other people can be a bad omen. Another aside, I'll tell you about that later. In numerology, according to a website called ridingthebeast.com, the number 13 brings the test, the suffering, and the death. It symbolizes the death to the physical matter or to oneself and the birth of the spirit, the passage onto the higher level of existence. So for the superstitious, this number brings bad luck or misfortune. It shows you it's a lot to do with what you believe is what comes of that belief. Okay, so if you believe 13 is unlucky, then 13 becomes unlucky for you. Lots of synchronicity there. Okay, so that's a lot to take in. Let's start with this idea of the death of matter and the birth of spirit. At this time where we are very focused on this mass spiritual ascension of humans from 3D to 4D to 5D or even higher, seeing 13 as a reoccurring synchronicity can be a sign of spiritual awakening or ascending to higher dimensions. See, it's not all totally bad. So for a second, let's speak math. Don't worry, I won't bore you. Mathematically speaking, it is a prime number. The number 13 is the 6th prime number. It's the smallest EMERP, so it's a prime number that is a different prime number when the two digits are reversed. EMERP is prime backwards, by the way. It is only one of 3 Wilson primes. It's a Fibonacci number, a happy number, a third centered square number. It's a lucky number. Since 13 is a prime number, it cannot be divided by any other number other than itself. Hence, it symbolizes qualities of incorruptible nature and purity. So if you think of it in nature, that's what it would mean. Strength. Okay guys, so it is the 13th. And you know there are people out there who are scared. They are legitimately scared. But why? Let me tell you why. Just like any other fear, it is based on a historical event or multiple historical events that set the stage for a deep belief. Then a few subsequent smaller events happen that serve to cement the irrational belief. This is called confirmation bias. This is all part of psychology. So fear of the number 13 actually has a specific recognized phobia. It's called, and I know you've heard of this, Triskaidekaphobia. It's a word that was coined in 1911. Superstitious sufferers of Triskaidekaphobia try to avoid bad luck by keeping away from anything numbered or labeled as 13. Either you're like that or you know somebody who is, because I think the stats were that something like 60% of people in the Western world are afraid of number 13. So as a result, companies and manufacturers use another way of labeling or numbering to avoid the number 13. So with hotels and tall buildings being very conspicuous examples, they skip that floor, they skip that level. Why does 13 have such a bad reputation? So there's multiple theories as to why the number 13 became associated with bad luck. but none of them have been really accepted as like the main reason. Here are 5 exhibits. Okay, Exhibit A. The Last Supper. At Jesus' Last Supper, there were 13 people around the table, counting Christ and the 12 apostles. Some believe this is unlucky because one of those 13, Judas, was the betrayer of Jesus Christ, was the 13th to sit down at the table at the Last Supper. But there's different opinions about whether or not that was a lucky or unlucky thing to have happen, right? Exhibit B, the god Loki. Ancient Norse lore holds that evil and turmoil were first introduced into the world by the appearance of the treacherous and mischievous god Loki at the dinner party at Valhalla. He was a 13th guest, upsetting the balance of the 12 gods already in attendance. Loki, huh? Exhibit C, killing of the Knights of Templar. On Friday the 13th, October 1307, lots of 13s there, King Philip the Fourth of France ordered the arrest of the Knights of Templar. And most of the knights were tortured and killed. Bad omen, bad sign. Full moon and the mad monks. A year with 13 full moons instead of 12 posed problems for the monks in charge of the calendars. So this was considered a very unfortunate circumstance as it interfered with the church, festivals, and events. For this reason, 13 came to be considered an unlucky number. However, if you think about it, a typical century has 37 years that have 13 full moons compared to 63 years that have 12 full moons, and typically every 3rd or 4th year has 13 full moons. So it's kind of like half and half almost, right? So these monks probably could have just used a Google Calendar, right? Figure that out. Okay, and then Exhibit E is a repressed lunar cult. Okay, so in ancient cultures, the number 13 repressed femininity because it corresponded to the number of lunar or menstrual cycles in a year. So it's 13 times 28 days in a cycle equals 364 days. The theory is that as the solar calendar triumphed over the lunar calendar, the number 13 became seen as cursed. Kind of, I don't know. You can't say it's silly because that was the mentality, right? It's all relative. Here are a few more examples or reasons that 13 is considered as ill-fated. Okay. So in Formula 1, there's no car with the number 13 as it is considered unlucky. Apollo 13 was the only unsuccessful mission of the American space program. Interesting. Many tall buildings and hotels, I think I've mentioned this, but they skip the 13th floor and they also don't have a number 13 room number. Okay, it's considered a bad omen. An assembly of witches is called a coven, which consists of 13 witches. A very recent incident that shows superstitious thinking is with Microsoft. It came up with their Office version 14 after version 12, skipping 13, as it assumed it may not be lucky for them. Wow, that's very recent. Dan Marino, an NFL player, wore a jersey that displayed the number 13 all of his career. He was considered to be one of the best players ever in the history of NFL. But despite the immense talent he possessed, he made it just once to the Super Bowl selection. In a tarot deck, 13 is the card of death. Okay, and that's Roman numerals XIII. Now, you ready for the law of contrast? Here's 13 times when 13 was lucky. There are 13 principles of the Jewish faith according to the Maimonides. Number 2, the apparitions of the Virgin of Fatima in 1917 were claimed to occur on the 13th day of 6 consecutive months. Wow. Number 3, in ancient Greece, Zeus is considered as the 13th and most powerful god. This 13th god seems to be associated with totality, completion, and attainment, just like as a prime number. Number 4, the ladder of eternity has 13 steps. On reaching the 13th step, it is assumed that your soul attains spiritual completion, kind of like enlightenment. Number 5, the most powerful civilization of history, the Mayans. The people decided to have a 13-day calendar week. They considered 13 to be extremely lucky number. Each day was ruled by one god, and the god who ruled the 13th day was associated with mystery, psyche, and magic. What? Number 6, as we all know, 13 is the period of change or transition for every girl and boy. Puberty. It is the age when children officially become teenagers. Yay, what a fun time. Number 7, in the standard 52 card deck of a playing card, there are 4 suits each of 13 ranks. Number 8, the US flag has 13 stripes that represent the union of 13 colonies to fight the British rule. Later, these 13 colonies became the first 13 states of the United States of America. Number 9, the Thai New Year, called Songkran Day, is celebrated on the 13th of April. It is considered to be a day of washing away all the bad omens by splashing water on people, friends, and relatives. Don't splash water on me, but I'll celebrate. Number 10, in Hindu mythology, Mahashivratri is celebrated on the 13th night of the Magha month, which is very sacred and the holy night for all the Shiva devotees. Number 11, the baker's dozen, the devil's dozen, the long dozen or long measure is 13. One more than the standard dozen. Love the baker's dozen. 13. Sorry, number 12. Number 12. I got it mixed up with 13 because it's so lucky. The 13 treasures of Britain are the series of magical items listed in the late medieval texts. And the number 13th reason that 13 is lucky is that the 13 postures of the Tai Chi are 13 poses consisting of 8 gates and 5 steps, which are considered to be fundamental importance in the practice of Tai Chi. Who knew, right? Okay, everyone, you're now experts on the number 13. You can go share with your friends why 13 is awesome. Comment below, are you superstitious? Are you afraid of number 13? Or maybe it's your lucky number, let me know. What is your story? Share, guys. For a little bit of good luck, hit that subscribe button and share this video with 13 friends. Click the thumbs up button 13 times too. Thanks for watching. Have a lovely day and be positive. As a little bonus, I will finish this video with 13 selfies of your positivity princess. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Mwah, love you. Oh, 13 kisses. Mwah, 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 mwah. Oh my gosh, I hope that was 13. Love you guys. There are 13 principles of the Jewish. Number 3, the ancient Greece Zeus. In ancient Greece, Zeus. For good luck, hit the subscribe button. The 13 measures. Dan Marino, an NFL player, wore a jersey that disputed the number